All right. Well, everyone, welcome back to House After Party, and this is episode 5 here, featuring two special guests. We have on the right side, I think, I don't know. Yeah, on the left side is the master tier booster extraordinaire himself for opposing's Warriors. The Clark lost lane to me and Zed once in an in-house. I will keep that.
Whoa,
In
whoa,
my
whoa, whoa, whoa! You can't prove that.
it was a long time ago, but
It
I
was a long
remember
time
it.
ago. Yeah, you shit on
Uh,
me.
and then we have the other kind of just kind of person that's here. No one really cares, but it's Nazarene, Notorious, the bad boy of House Party.
Dude.
He's how's it going, Naz? You get any warrant chat ban chat restrictions today?
No, man, I actually haven't been chat restricted or banned in a very long time from the beautiful game of League of Legends. So,
All right, fair enough, fair enough. Yeah, the man, the myth, the legend. Good one, Trish. All right. Where I guess since we have two minor league players, one of them being captain, this is gonna be more minor league centered episode. We're gonna go over some of the Premier League games this week and talk about them, but mostly it's gonna be for the minor league and just talk about stuff that went on in the games and some BM teams and stuff like that. So to start it off, I guess.
Do I just do Premier League real fast?
Oh yeah. We can kind of go through the last week's Premier League games, just kind of slick through them. I didn't actually. I was gone all weekend with homecomings hype, so I didn't get to watch any of the Premier League games. But looks like I saw who won. IG beat Lucker Dogs. That's kind of weird. I although IG was back to their actual decent roster with Wumple not playing mid lane, so I can kind of see how that worked out. Raislin, you probably watch him. Do you have any thoughts on this game?
I actually didn't get to watch a ton of them. I saw the pick bans and some of the stuff, but I mean, I I just want to go over the pick bans real fast. Like what? Okay, so the pick bans for you guys, in case you didn't watch them. IG bans Rengar, Callista, Mundo, um, which is on blue side. I'm just doing these blue to red side. Red side bans Gangplank, Kindred, Elise. The picks in order of pick order. I don't change pick order, so it's easier to see why people would do things. Blue side did Tom Kench, Ezreal, Trundle, LeBlanc, and Lee Sin. And then red side did Malphite, Rek'Sai, Janna, Lucian, and Ari.
You say Jana
Yeah.
as a band?
No, as a
Yeah.
pick. No,
As
as
a pick,
pick.
okay.
Yeah,
Alright,
yeah.
I was
Okay.
there.
So.
Well, I'm both those. I mean, they're kind of standard stuff everywhere. I don't know why. It's not really worth spending any time on. They're just kind of no one played anything weird. No one banned anything weird.
Yeah.
Pretty much standard game. Splash completely dumped all over Lucker Dogs though. So I heard he's back to not playing Jungle Gragas.
Well, I mean,
So-
haven't we've criticized Slash before about his champ pool, right? I'm pretty sure we have. Because he's the one that's the Vel'Koz, right?
No, that's Strathagos.
Oh, it's Strathagos. Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Like I can never remember fucking names. I'm so bad at names.
Splash. All right, yeah. Well, IG one. That's
Yeah.
actually pretty good. So
I definitely what I care about next is actually the White Lightning versus Saw, because they picked. Okay, let's do the pick bans because I laughed when I saw this a little bit. And Naz, I know you do a lot of pick ban and stuff like that. So bans are for blue side for White Lightning,
Oh,
Darius.
we lost
Jonah.
Naz.
Oh, did we?
oh, dude, my sound cut off again. So
Okay. JJ, and we lost Swifty. Swifty, you there?
I'm sitting right.
The
Do you
videos
not-
are just getting cut out.
Can you not see me? You're
No,
I can hear
can't.
you.
All right. Well, I blame this on Raislin's internet.
No,
as
this is
usual.
not me this time, so it's all you guys. Okay, so we can still talk. It's not screwing up my overlays yet. So anyways, White Lightning bans are Darius, Janna, Trundle. Red
And
side.
They banned Jana.
Yeah.
I knew I saw a Jana ban when I was looking at the game recaps.
Yeah. And then red side saw bans Fiora, Kindred, and Mundo, right? And so then blue side picks Elise, Nami, Ezreal, Vladimir, and Ari, and red side picks Morgana, Lucian, Rek'Sai, Malphite, and Karma. So how do you guys feel about a Malphite pickup on Mr. Tai 2G against a
So
Vladimir, Elise, Ezreal, Ari, and Nami?
Did he pick into Vladimir?
Oh yeah. So he 1, 2, 3. No, he picked Vladimir before they picked their top lane. So they counterpicked the Vladimir into the top lane. But he knew
Okay.
that the jungler was AP, the mid lane was obviously going to be probably AP too, and then it was just really weird. And then
Hmm.
obviously Nami and Ezreal, and what Ezreal's probably like the third most AP. Naz, you can probably talk about this a little bit.
Well, Malphite, just hearing Malphite into that comp is it's very bad. It's a really bad pick, Malphite into the comp that you just listed. So, yeah, I don't know. Like, I feel like if you 100% lane swap a Malphite into a Vladimir, but even then, afterwards, like mid to late game, he just wouldn't really be able to do anything.
Yeah. So
Why did they ban Janna? Did the other team have like a one trick or something?
no.
I don't know why you would even ban Janna, even if it was a one.
You remember what I told you when you watch these premiere games, you might cringe a little bit.
Yeah, this is one of those
Sometimes,
moments.
sometimes this is why I cringe.
Because if they're gonna plan on picking Malphite, they could ban a counter instead of Janna.
Yeah, I did. So if you were gonna pick a top lane for a safe pick, right? You know that you're gonna be counterpicked probably. What would be a top laner that you guys would want to pick?
If you're first picking top,
No, no. If you're red side, you're doing your last two picks. You have to pick a top laner, and your mid lane because you're trying to save those for last, right? So you know
Right.
that one of your two lanes are going to be counterpicked. So obviously you want to probably try to stay safer picks here, or yeah. So because you have to give one of them up. So
yeah,
they
you could play like Gnar or something.
so you go.
Fangy's saying in chat that Rolara likes Janna Morgan Trundle, but I know for a fact that's not true because Rolara plays more Thresh than anything.
God, I'm
So,
thinking gets
The Janna band could have been like they were already planning on picking hard engage, and so they just wanted to get it off the table because they were like, I guess they just think the enemy team can play Janna and disengage or poke to that level that they need to ban it, and then they'll just pick hard
Yeah.
engage.
That just seems like such a targeted ban for like one player. But if they
Yeah.
don't play Janna, I don't know. I didn't even think Janna's that strong right now.
What are your
I-
thoughts
I
on
don't
Janna, Naz?
Huh?
What are your thoughts
Um,
on Janna?
On Janna, I think she's very strong situationally. Like we just played her in scrims today; it went really well. Like some of the teams I coach still utilize her a lot because poke is so strong right now. Like Nidalee, Ezreal are just absolutely broken. Corki is really good, and she just meshes really well with those. Even though like her Q nerf obviously still exists, like her ability to disengage and to peel, and like her shield's utility for her team, and it's just raw power is really good. So I don't think it hit her that hard.
Did they ban Soraka in that game?
No,
Okay.
nope. Soraka was open.
Because, hold on.
Yeah, I don't know. When I saw it, I was a little confused, but
I mean, did they win?
White Lightning won. They did not win with that Malphite pick. In fact, if I remember correctly, and maybe Ty.
Ty was, yeah. I remember correctly.
I'm pretty sure
Ty
there's
was-
a couple more Malphite misses that I can talk about. So,
Yeah, it was not very good.
which I'll be nice to Ty today.
They're definitely gonna let Ty get Malphite in the future. Although he's kind of, I don't know. But yeah, I guess White Lightning wins as I thought they would, and most other people did. Although Saw was looking really strong. I don't know. It's just a bad pick ban phase, and Ty being Ty. So
We do love you,
whatever.
Ty, but
I mean, a lot of times, like, pick ban is seen as, like, an end all be all, even though, like, if you watch the EUCS games from, like, a day or two ago, there was this blue side that got, I think it was, like, yeah, it was Millennium.
was
versus
Millennium.
Renegades.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Millennium got, like, it was
Renegades.
Renegades. Banditos. Yeah, like, the EUCS team. They got, like, this disgustingly good draft, but they just didn't know how to play it. And, like, they picked all these OP champs. And it was kind of like, honestly, it was kind of like our game against Wawa, which is like, we had all these broken champs, but the enemy comp just did so well into it that it didn't even matter. So
Yeah, you were on Lucian, right, that game?
yeah,
Yeah, fucking Lucian, man.
we'll talk about that later probably.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I hope
definitely
so.
Premier League.
definitely on the list. So,
Mhm.
was there any of these games, Swifty, that you thought they were gonna win? Spooky Midnight versus Soul 7. Soul 7 won.
yeah. Or actually, it's Supernova now. Come on.
Oh, is it Supernova?
Yeah.
Well,
I think IG Supernova too. It's kind of weird, but whatever. Yeah, I was actually surprised. I don't know how Spooky Midnight lost that game. They didn't look like they got out drafted. They just lost. Spooky Midnight looks really weak, honestly. I put them. I'd still say Soul 7 and Inquisitors are actually worse than them, even though Soul 7 just won. But Spooky Midnight probably is down there too. And also, Inquisitors won as well, so I guess I contradicted myself twice there. But that did remind me because TDRK also another not so good team, even though never forget Zark's rankings as them #1 team. So I don't think they've won a game yet.
Other than this one,
No,
Yeah, they won.
they won this one.
against two.
TQ. Oh wait, never mind.
You-
Wait, did TDRK won against TQR, right?
Oh my god, you wrote it wrong. Come on.
Hey, I just because you didn't watch your stuff.
Oh my god.
I'm
All right.
pretty
well,
sure.
yeah. Okay. TDRK actually won that game.
I think so. I don't know. You have to
Lynch
go check.
me, sorry, but
Chat, who won? TDRK or TQR? I couldn't remember. Come on, what do you guys got for me?
well, it's on delay. But yeah. I guess whatever one team won, it was pretty much two worst teams going at it. So I don't really care. But White Light.
Fucking Devour just said that for Spooky Midnight's game versus Soul 7, Afro was actually playing top and Spellbinding was playing mid. And I remember that game.
Oh, I remember that. Spellbinding actually did not do very good at all. I went through and looked at the KDs after the game. Obviously, KDAs and everything, but when you're like 1-6, you can assume you didn't do very well. Yeah, none really of the Premier League games caught my attention other than Soul 7 actually winning and IG's roster being pretty good, although they did lose to White Lightning.
So, and then
Yeah.
White Lightning versus IG. White Lightning won. So, okay. So,
Yeah,
moving on.
Premier League, no one cares about that.
Yeah, that's pretty much our quick Premier thing. Just
AKA the minor league.
Yeah, so now we're going to get talking about the minor league, which is what this is mostly going to be about. And first thing I want to talk about is probably the people that make up each team. And I wrote down, according to what is on the sheet right now, so this might be wrong because I know definitely one of those teams, this roster, I don't know if it's actually true or not. So I guess we'll start off with Warriors. Oh my God, Warriors. That's a hard name to say, Clark. I don't like that.
I didn't name the team.
Yeah. What was that name? I like Dynamics. Actually, Dynamics Rangers was pretty gay too, but
Well,
Warriors.
when When I first joined, they like made a Reddit post and it was called like Avalon Knights or something. According
was,
to the ranked.
No, it
I'm on their ranked 5 teams and it says Avalon Knights.
Yeah.
And then I saw our other name, which is whatever you just said it was.
Yeah. I think that's
But
what they had last
now we're Warriors, which I'm okay with. I like that. I like Mario and stuff.
I like Mario. Warriors.
Wario is kind of like Mario.
Yeah, so anyways, making up the team, you have opposing going top lane. You have Galzerin going jungle. Mid lane is obviously you, Clark. AD carry is Gizmus. And support is Chris Brown Senpai.
Yep.
So tell me about your guys' players, strength, weaknesses, stuff like that.
Yeah, let me just tell him the weaknesses.
Okay.
Here's who you want to lane camp, and here's who kills.
Anyone who's good at their job should already know this. But a lot of people don't, like other people don't. And the people who aren't good at this probably aren't going to beat you anyways. So.
Fair enough. All right, well, I don't know. Okay, so Opposing and our ADC Gizmas recently just swapped matches, or swapped lanes, because Opposing was our ADC originally.
Oh, wait, Opposing's ADC again?
No, he's top.
Well, no, he started, when I started with the team,
Oh,
he was ADC.
yeah, I remember that. And
then, like, right before Swiss, he's like, I'm going to go top lane now. For whatever reason, I think he had a deeper champ pool. So I don't really know their strengths in those two roles. Gizmo seems pretty strong in ADC, but I originally thought he was a top laner, so I don't know. But his Ezreal seems pretty good. And I know Gals is very talkative as a shot caller, which is nice. Like, he calls everything. Like, literally everything. Like, every spell, every cooldown, whatnot.
Ezreal Q down.
Like, anytime somebody dies, he goes, Ezreal's dead? Or, like, even if it's our teammate, like, Clark's dead? Or, I don't know. It's nice to have constant chatter like that. Nice.
So right now, you were mentioning this earlier, that right now you guys actually just pulled someone in to do pick ban for you guys, because you didn't have someone doing it before, right?
Yeah, we just I saw Opposing made a Reddit post. We got some pick ban guy, we got a macro guy, and then we have like some other guy that does something else too.
So I have a question. How are you gonna know if they are good or not?
Well, that was literally the first thing I said. I was like, what are these guys ranked? And
okay, because what's the minimum ranking for you?
Because I don't know if ranking actually matters. Cause I've never worked with anybody that like in this capacity. So I was just like, so are they good or like?
I'm sure Naz could speak a little bit about that because Naz coaches, right?
Yeah, Samsung's coach and analyst when they won Worlds were actually silver and gold.
Yeah, but
right. So I'm sure that there's cases like that exist, but I feel like for the majority, a silver player is not going to like come in and like teach me all this crazy macro strategy.
A player with like 1,500 games stuck in silver isn't going to.
Right. I'm not going to be like, oh, you're a genius. You just don't have hands or something.
From what I've heard, both of the Korean ones that you talked about, Naz, we just lost you.
Holy moly, man. Yeah, my sound keeps cutting out for no reason. I don't know what's going on. So I have to restart again. But yeah.
Anyways, so from what I've heard about the Korean coaches, actually they don't play League, like at all, which is
Yeah.
one of the
Right.
reason why they're ranked so low.
Mm-hmm.
So,
So we haven't worked with these guys yet. So I think we'll just base it. We'll ignore their rankings and we'll just base it off of
Their
the
work.
actual. Yeah, we'll just look at their work and see how it is. Just go from there.
Okay.
Because there's no other way to do it. I don't think.
okay. So right now you guys are gonna be a little bit new in pick ban with someone else doing it, so that might be something.
Yeah, it should be interesting.
So yeah, I just
Yo,
curious.
before we get off talking about Wawa and go to the next minor team, by the way, I had the Clark added. Okay, before the season ended, like a couple months before NACS rush would start, where all the like super good like funded teams were gonna try to get challenger rank 5 so they could get into qualifiers. I was like gonna get like a team of like ragtag, high diamond, low master people, and I posted on Team Reddit teams about it or something to like just get challenger 5s before the season ended for rewards. Because I already had like a team that I coached that was in Challenger, but I wanted to be like on a team that just reached Challenger as a player because I didn't want to just like reap the rewards just from playing 10 games with a team that I had coached and like whatever they reached Challenger. And I was talking to the Clark, and then I never could end up getting the team formed. And later on, just because like I don't know, I felt like because I was looking for a mid, for House Party, and I hadn't really talked to him. I looked at his stats, it was like all Blitzcrank. I was like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know,
that's
man.
nice to see.
So yeah, I had been talking to Frosty too because he's been like my longtime friend. We used to duo a lot as AD and mid mains, and so I ended up bringing him on as mid to the team. And then I needed space in my friends list, and the Clark was one of the guys in my purge. Yeah, and then
I thought your name,
just 'cause
your
I was
old
like,
name,
I was like, I don't
Nazarene 2 or whatever. That looks so familiar.
S Nazarene, yeah, that's so. We had been talking about like that, and all of a sudden I see like he was on this roster going into Swiss entry tournament, and it was just like super small world.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Someone's
Wow.
echoing. Whoever's echoing. Is that you, Naz?
Maybe. Let me see if I
Yeah,
can turn on my
probably.
sensitivity.
I think it's Naz because he's the only one not echoing.
Yeah, probably. I can't look at Skype though.
Okay,
I'll turn up my sensitivity. Hold on.
So yeah, that's really interesting. So.
So you didn't want Blitzcrank mid on your team?
No, man, I really wasn't looking for a support mate to play mid at the time, but
Dude, not even a
Nice.
support main. I'm just a Blitzcrank main.
I got you.
No, GG.
Am I still echoing or no?
Yep.
Yeah.
No, I think we're good. We're good.
Oh, no,
Cool.
we're good. I have a question about Wawa. So all right, I forgot the roster already. The with opposing going to top lane and you got Gizmus obviously, who I think is a pretty good upgrade because I usually feed Gizmus, but I could always beat opposing, so I guess he's way better than me. But is he? Do you guys think that it's working out way better than it was?
Yeah, so I mean, we don't have a whole bunch of experience as a team. So with opposing on ADC, we only played like 2 or 3 ranked 5 games, and then they switched it up right away. So it's hard to tell how much better this is. But we went 6-0 with it, so I'm assuming it's decent. It has potential. And yeah, the champ
Potential,
will seem
That's
better.
a bad word.
I
Potential.
fucking hate that word. Potential. Oh.
All right. It's
Okay,
kinda weird.
moving on. We have Blue Milk Freeze. What was their name before? Because their name wasn't Blue Milk Freeze.
It was like
It was overhyped.
overhyped. Yeah.
Overhyped. Okay, and they have Impaled, CR, Dave
Impaled.
Munn-
It's impaled. What the
Impaled,
fuck are you
Impaled,
talking?
whatever. CR, Dave Munn, Jiggity Jam, and the Baby Fister, who should really change his fucking name.
Well, I wasn't Dave Mon. Didn't he play on the good Supernova team, like the only good one?
Baby Fister is from TTU, I think.
I have no idea what the fuck that is, but I know Dave Mon's good, and then I know Jiggity Jam's kind of good. But
Wumple's saying Dave Munn's not on their team. Someone should update their roster things for House Party, because that's what I took this from today. So, GG.
Wumple, accurate source of information.
I don't know.
But,
I mean, he's been on every team, so he must know.
Holy shit.
I love you, Wumple. So, Wumple, who's their mid laner now? Mark Boots. Mark Boots.
I always wanted to ask if that guy was actually the YouTuber Mark Boots or if he's just a fan.
So, I don't know. So, but I guess it's Mark Boots. I have no idea who that is. I actually don't know who a lot of these people are because I haven't seen.
Yeah,
them.
what's with the Wumple meme where he like trades teams all the time?
Because he does.
Is he like high demand or what?
He's like the slut that everyone bangs, but no one actually likes.
Yeah, I was just gonna
Shit.
say
He's
that.
not,
I'm
he's
just
not
kidding.
good enough to wife, dude. You won't put the ring on it, but you'll hit and quit.
No. He's I mean, he's a solid player and he's a AD carry, and everyone wants him. I guess he's just
Okay.
like everyone knows that he'll show up to games and stuff like that. So, they use.
He's reliable.
Yeah,
Wumple,
he's reliable.
there's something called the Swifty standard, and that was you had to be better than Elysium if you wanted to make it into Swiss League, and if you weren't better than Elysium, then you weren't making it into Swiss League.
Yeah,
So, that was
we're
the
the
standard.
fine line. Although there's teams that are worse than us that made it in.
Well,
So.
I don't know about that.
No, I mean, obviously I'm not gonna put us in the top. Like, I don't think we're in the top half of the Swiss League right now, but I'd say we're out there on the, sixth place. I'd put us at 6 as of this exact moment right
Okay.
now.
Okay.
And then I think, all right, we'll talk about them, but I just want to like right now, the Purple Pirates. Everyone's like, oh man, these guys are like the best team.
I don't agree.
Did anyone see who they played? They literally played all gold teams, and then they had, I think, two of their wins were because the other team disqualified or forfeited or were not present.
No, they beat us.
Basically got.
But
Well, I mean, you guys didn't have you.
Yeah.
Or
No.
you guys.
I mean, we had Gordon Ramsay, who was, I would say Gordon Ramsay's probably better than me, but I don't
yeah,
know.
but
So,
did he play mid? I thought he played AD carry.
No, he plays mid.
Oh,
So,
all right.
But
Wait,
I don't know.
who's on the Pirates team?
We'll get to that. Let's do Syndicate for. Actually, let's do.
Okay.
Does anyone have anything to say about Blue Milk Freeze? Because I don't know any of these people.
I mean,
we've played them in the past. Not in House Party, I'll say, but we have played them in the past. I think it was BO3, and we 2-0'd them. Like the first game, it was actually kind of a struggle, and we had to like really focus and up our macro. And then the second game, they fell through, and I was like 5-0-9 Vayne, and it was like super snowball, and they FF'd. But I do think they have. I'm not saying they're bad. Like they have potential. They have
That
good
word again.
individual players, but yeah, I think if they bring it together, they could be like in the top 3 or 4 teams.
Okay. So moving on to Syndicate, obviously this is your team now. So we have fully anointed top lane, bladed Thesis jungle, mid Little Frosty, AD carries you, and then support is Alex and Theo. So
Yeah. You just want me to like talk about?
yeah,
in
talk
general?
about your team a little bit. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses?
We've been playing for a little bit. I initially went to form like the super team because I looked at all the Premier League teams I could have tried out for as AD. I looked at any minor league teams that were starting up for Swiss tournament, and I was like, holy shit, nothing is up to my standard at the time.
Whoa.
So, I mean, you guys weren't even close to formed. Like, I know Opposing was like looking for players, but this was, I think, a couple weeks before Swiss registry even started. So I knew from before. I wanted Noited and Bladed because I played with them shortly. And so I brought them along because they were willing. Dev will tell you the story in a much different light, but I ditched Dev because we weren't working out in lane and otherwise. And I was looking for Alex because he was like master. I was tried out a couple supports, but Alex was in the running because of his solo queue rank. And in the end, like I decided to get Alex, and since then like I've been teaching him a lot of macro, but him and I in lane he was already really good. That's how he got to master. Like just dumpstering people in lane, playing really good lane champs, and just carrying from there on, like just carrying his teams. And our macro is getting a lot better. Noided is the kind of top that will like play bruisers and sometimes tanks if we have to have him play them, and sometimes utility stuff like Lulu, rarely, but he'll do it. And he'll just solo kill his lane. Otherwise, he'll get camped. And when he gets camped, though, we usually go off a lot bot. Because as soon as I know that I can aggressively trade, like anyone that I've laned against could probably tell you this, is I'll go in instantly. Like, if I know I can aggressively trade...
especially Lucian. It's just like every time I'm like, hey, let me get this. Oh, and there goes half my health because he has the BF sword. But yeah, it's yeah.
Exactly.
That's
So,
right.
I mean, it's kind of a toss-up game of who you want to pressure, because we have, like, me and Frosty, who are arguably... not so arguably the best carry duo in minor league. I don't know. Clark Clark and Gizmus are good, but I want to see Gizmus on something other than Blue Ez against our comp that we played against them, because like the Blue Ez and the comp that they had, even though they didn't have like a dedicated pick ban analyst for it, it absolutely shat on us. We couldn't really do anything. But anyway, yeah. So Frosty has like a really big champ pool. He used to be like a TF and Z2 trick when we used to play together, but now he's showed like really good games on Victor, on Lulu. He's like stacked Medjais on people and scrims all the time, and for a couple games of Swiss. Um, so yeah, and Alex and I are, I think, power bot lane.
Okay, what's your weakness? Like, what's the weakest thing about your team?
Our weakness, so
Tilting.
I'll talk mainly about the weaknesses that stemmed from our one loss, because that's the game where we showed like to be the weakest. Because all the other Swiss games that we played were like FF20, and we scrim like challenger teams all the time, do just fine, and have like sometimes these weaknesses are what defeat us, just like when we played versus Wawa. So, um, sometimes I'm quick to jump the gun. Like if I hate saying like, oh, I'm jumpy and like I'll go in at the wrong time or get caught, because that's not necessarily what happened until the game-ending play, because I got caught there. But a lot of my deaths were in team fights where Frosty and I do this thing where we'll switch priority in the team fight, and whoever's like when he's off cooldown, I'll go in instantly, and I know that Frosty's about to come back onto his cooldowns. So I'll, let's say, go in, I'll kill 2 or 3 people, die, and then Frosty cleans up, we take objectives off of it. But then the very last fight, I wasn't patient. Like, I should have waited, because we had Nasher, and it was like a sure win just about, because we had 2 really good dedicated split pushers, 1-3-1, and I called the 1-3-1, but then I just didn't wait for it. And then other than that, like, when we had the second dragon, and then we went, like, I think we went 1 kill and 1 drag to 2 deaths, but we shouldn't have even had the 2 deaths. Like, as a coach, I'm used to seeing like the macro and everything of the game.
Oh.
Oh,
He-
Naz, we lost you. Your voice cut out. God damn it.
And he's gone.
No.
Holy shit, did I cut out again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you were saying as a coach.
Okay, yeah, so I didn't go much farther than that. As a coach, I'm used to seeing like the macro of the game, like not necessarily in hindsight, but from above, you know, and like I can see exactly what's right and wrong in certain situations, but I got to be able to like pull the trigger with my shot calling. Like my shot calling, I know my game knowledge is really good, but in terms of shot calling and like applying it when I'm actually playing the game and having to focus on my mechanics and what I'm doing in my micro as well, and like a position as extensive as ADC, I need to be able to like make the sure call quicker and make sure everyone's on it. So that's like my weakness, I know. All the team, like all our teammates owned up to what they did wrong in our loss. So I think Bladed said he got caught out a couple times, which happens like pretty rarely. But when that happens, it kind of throws off our groove, because I give Bladed absolute free reign of the jungle. Like we'll talk before the game on who's the most gankable, where we should put our pressure, where we should put counter pressure. And other than that, like I let Bladed do whatever he wants, as long as he's not like walking past dead camps all the time and having inefficient routes. It's whatever. So if one of our solo laners or Bladed gets either solo killed or ganked and like takes a loss for it, it does throw off our groove because of that reason. Because like I just let them do their thing for the most part, because we haven't gotten to do that much VOD review yet. So it's not like as organized like all our map movements. We just kind of go with the flow, and then when I see like an opportunity, I'll just call it. So that I would say would be our weakness. Like if we get caught early, it throws us off a lot, and my shot calling on the spot needs to improve.
Cool. Okay, moving on to Purple Pirates. Okay, you have I'm Logan top, Arctic editor, jungle mid, Dr. Lee, AD carry. It's Jay Clark, not to be confused with Doug Clark. And then
He's my
support.
brother.
The support is GGGG Cherokee.
That's a Master Chief support, yeah.
I don't know. So.
Yeah, I guess I kind of like, I'm not saying they're definitely not bad. Like they're probably still in the top half, but everyone's like they're the second best team easy, or third best right behind Syndicate. I'm like, no, probably not. And just looking at the roster, they have decent players, and then obviously they have a master player, but I was not impressed at all by them.
Did you watch their games?
Yeah, I'm. So when we would get done, or not all of them, but I watched the ending of like 2 of their games.
Okay.
I can't remember. I don't even know what team they were facing, just because in spectate. Obviously, it doesn't show it just showed some of the random players they were placing against. Since I'm friends with Arctic editor, so they had spectator enabled on like 2 other games. I was like, oh, you better scout out this team we might have to face. So they probably don't know that, but yeah. But yeah, I mean, at both games they weren't that close, so it was like I couldn't really get a good glimpse of them. But they're fine. I just don't think they're top 3, like
That's
everyone's saying. Just because they're 5-1 doesn't mean they're that good.
Yeah, I don't know. I like my team played against them last game, and I got to watch it, and I don't know. I'd like to play against them again. I mean, they won fair and square. I will not deny that, but I don't know. After playing, who did we play? We played. We won our first one, then we played Syndicate and lost, and then we played them. And I don't know. After playing Syndicate, my players were a little tilted. So I don't know. But they won fair and square. I'll give them that. Good job. I don't think they're gonna take top 3, but so. But I think they're not bad. I don't think they're going to get bottom 2 either. So.
Yeah, when we talk about some of these teams, like I wish I would be able to give a little more input, but because we only really got to play 5 games of Swiss because one team forfeited.
Yeah.
I didn't. Yeah, like I obviously didn't get to play against all 40 teams or whatever.
Yeah. No. So. And then we have Purdue Collegiate coming up next.
Yeah, I know you can.
Yeah, I don't really know much about these guys. I know top is Rez, jungle is Magic King Bam. Mid is Season 6, AD carry score, and support is Kinetic Z's.
We actually played against them. And
So did we, but yeah, you can say yours first.
yeah, we executed like a really good lane swap. We went Tristan fast pushed, and our rotations made it so that I'm not gonna say exactly what we did, but we had a play called where we went up by a tower, and so Noided still got farm. I still got farm. Again, I'm not going to say exactly how. And then after that happened, we kind of farmed it out a little bit. And Alex roamed while I would just kind of sit. And for some reason, their AD score, he was like Master 2 last season, but he wasn't that good with minion waves.
He was master in rank 3s.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
So-
that doesn't count.
He's Diamond 2 or Diamond 3, so he's not terrible.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, damn, Master player, and I was like, oh wait, Master rank 3s.
All right,
But-
yeah. So his minion wave control was actually pretty bad because you'd push in instead of freezing, and I would just farm jungle and then move back into lane, take the CS, and I'd call Alex down. Like one thing that's really important in that scenario is I would like call Alex down every time the wave was about to be pushed and be like, okay, make sure if I didn't have wards, we'd set up wards to make sure I wasn't gonna get dove, and if I was about to get dove, then we would set up the proper countermeasures for it. And just like that, and I was playing Trist. Like it was I think 22-minute game. We ended up ending on him but honestly, when we were going into it, we thought, okay, I thought my mic or my sound cut out again because Swifty was doing this thing.
Oh, it did.
No, you got most of it.
No, I was talking to my brother, so.
Okay.
Okay.
Going into it, we were actually like kind of scared / like we respected them because they are one of the teams that I think has a really good chance. And actually, RMU, the team I coach, just played them tonight in ULaw, so I'm gonna have to ask how that went. But I do think they like our one game against them where we 1-0'd like fast isn't always gonna happen because they do have talented players. So as long as they fix their macro, and I'll say that about a lot of minor league teams because not everyone has someone that can just go ahead and like point out all the macro mistakes and work towards it. But if they do fix their macro, they'll be like a really scary team. I think top 3 for sure.
So we played them too, and we actually their macro was decent at level 1. They had this, I don't know if it was intentionally, but they had their release invaded our jungler, and we half of us collapsed, and their entire team was there with like a teleport, and their whole team was there, and we got 4-0'd at level 3. And
Oh my
we're all
God.
just like, okay, we're fucked. And then we came back and won it pretty convincingly. We got after that, their bot lane was good or like decent. Their jungler was all right, but their mid laner, who's like Diamond 2 or Diamond 1, got solo killed by Vishra 3 times in lane, and their top laner was almost completely useless as Lulu. Like I don't even remember a single good thing he did all game. He had a pretty poor score. That allowed us to come back in. Our bot lane went even, and then I got pretty fed as Tristana, and the later the game went, I had more effect than he did.
What was the mid matchup?
It was
Champ-wise.
Vishra was on Vel'Koz, and they the other I think the mid laner was on Lulu. I know they had Lulu. I can't remember if it was mid or top, but I think it was either a mid Lulu or a top Lulu. I can't remember the exact. It should be
Okay.
somewhere, but I can't open any of my.
So
programs.
it wasn't like Dying TF versus Fizz or something.
No, it was like an even. I mean, Vishwa's main champion is Vel'Koz, so hopefully, but it's not something he should be getting solo killed in 3 times. And that actually pretty much single handedly brought us back into the game because I was thinking 4-0 against Purdue. They're good. They're obviously decent. They're in NACC.
Something to point out there.
And I just thought we were fucked, but Vishwa helped us get back in by giving us hope. Honestly,
Yeah, that's impressive.
Yeah, something to point out. They're actually in NACC, which I know that when we scouted them, we figured that out. So, but that's actually really impressive that they're in NACC.
NACC is the collegiate series, not Challenger series, by the way.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
NACS.
Well, it's technically ULAL now. Yeah, they switched it up or whatever. But yeah, that's actually especially North region, the region that they're in with us is really competitive. Most teams that made it in, to just about any of the ULAL regions had to go through at least a couple teams full of D1s plus, a couple master players, challenger players, in order to qualify. So that actually does say something about them. It's also pretty funny that Swifty's been more BM than me so far during the show.
I'm just calling it like I see it. I mean, they should have won. When you go 4-0 against a team at level 3 and every one of your lanes, their Lucian had 2 kills in lane and didn't kill us at all, and I was down maybe 10 CS as Triss vs Vayne when Lucian comes back to lane with a pickaxe at level minute -4. So, but they should have. They really had no business losing the game. Their solo lanes really let the rest of the team down. So I think that's definitely a weakness they have. Other than that, they seem like a pretty strong team. Their jungler was strong, and their bot lane was pretty decent. So
Yeah, so I don't know. I think they're gonna do pretty well. I think that hopefully they fix some of their mistakes. But I think if they fix those things, I think they'll actually do really well in this. I'd put them top 5. So
yeah.
Okay, so moving on to Team Dot. Top is Sensei Cat. Fucking jungler is Wenar. I'm just gonna say
it's a wiener. It's obviously a wiener. Come on.
I know. I'm just trying. Mid is IWQ or I don't know. So and then AD carry is what? It's supposed to be Bricka, right? But it's an L, I think. And the supporter is Clarazio.
Not very good at reading. Clarizio. But yeah, the Team Dot looks pretty. I don't know. I think they're just 6 because they might have lost their last ranked game when they knew they were in, but they looked really strong.
Yeah, they had a weird comp when we played them.
I'm gonna revoke the thing I said about who was it? The Purdue team potentially being top 3 because I think Team Dot has the potential to be top 3, and there can't really be that many top 3s when us and Wawa are 1 and 2 respectively. Or I don't even know. We're both 1 and 2, and I don't know about which is which as of right now until we play more than just one best of 1. But
yeah, best of 1s are hard to tell
for sure. But yeah, Team Dot, I think their biggest issue is champ pool. Clarizio, if you look at his OPGG from last season, he has 4-digit Janna games, and then his next most played is 39 Sona games or something, and everyone bans Janna against him, and then he plays Sona. So if someone bans both or bans Janna and plays something that's good into Sona, I think he's pretty screwed. And then
yeah, we actually took Janna from him, and he played Sona into it.
Yeah, and then you guys beat them.
Yeah, well, they had a really weird draft. They played Zillion mid with teleport, and it was just really, I don't know. It was really ineffectual. They didn't do anything with it. Not to BM them, but he just farmed wave, and then we outscaled them, and it was a really strange game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then it's not just him either. Honestly, Sensei Cat,
he's the Rengar guy, right?
Yeah, he's the Rengar guy, and when he doesn't get Rengar, he plays Darius. When he doesn't get either, he plays Mundo. That's it. Those are the only 3 champs that he'll ever play, and you can honestly draft so easily around him and Clarizio. Even though individually, they're good players when given their champs, but when you have a champ puddle, that ends up being a really big issue, especially in 5s.
Yeah, definitely.
Sounds fair. We didn't play them. We just saw them doing pretty good, and we didn't really want to face them because we had no idea what their team was like. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm surprised to see what they can do. I agree. I think they're definitely better than Purdue and probably have, just from what I saw. So I think they would probably be up in the top 3.
Yeah, I don't know. I think if Purdue fixes their issues, especially with talking about the way to pick ban around Clarizio and stuff like that, I think that they'll. I don't know. That's such a big problem is doing pick ban like that. If you can be, so like we'll definitely talk about when we get to Elysium a little bit there, because I think that that's a problem with Elysium too, as the pick bans and stuff like that. So
I mean, I'll completely agree. In fact, just showing how bad we are at pick bands. In that, I don't know if you know this, Ness, but in your,
let's move on to Elysium real fast. Okay, so
oh yeah,
top we have
right.
Mecha Nerd.
In our okay, never
Let
mind.
me
You can
let
say
me do
what
this real
you
fast and then we'll talk about it. Top is Mecha Nerd, jungle is Kiro Shirin, mid is Vishra, AD carry is obviously Swifty, and support is Sultan.
Oh my God, someone's typing up a storm here.
So
But yeah, what I was gonna say was our pick ban is so bad as of right now. When we were facing you, that first rotation when we took Jonna and Jarvan, we actually had no idea what we were picking until 10 seconds. We go to like say, all right, take Elise and someone else, and our people are, I think. No, we were all kind of talking at the same time. Someone ended up locking in Jarvan, and then we got randomed Janna. So we basically had to play with a random champion in Jarvan, who Kyle Sheeran has played like twice ever. Obviously, we got shit on, probably partly because of that, and partly because of everyone got shit on. But it was not. It was the single worst draft I think I've ever been a part of. We after the draft, we wanted to forfeit because we knew we were not going to win with the team comp we had.
Yo, when we were in loading screen, I actually the first thing I said was, "Holy shit!" The letters J and K are right next to each other. They must have tried to pick Kindred, and like he fucked up and accidentally picked.
I don't know because he was like, oh shit, did we want Kindred or Jarvan? Because yeah, I think another thing we were talking about was how we didn't want Kindred with a game with like a carry top laner because we'd have no front line. But then we ended up picking not a carry top laner, and then or we picked Fiora. So it was just I can't even describe how shit it was. And if you want to know if how people lose game of champs, like just watch that because we lost the game of champs.
but we're gonna talk about it because it was a stream game, and I only care about the last four games I got 4 games I got played, so or streamed. So we're gonna be talking about that. But going on from that, looking at champ pools, I mean Vishra's champ pool is not very big, and I like Vishra, but
I'll be the first to agree with that. He's been working on it lately, but his champ pool definitely is.
so and then Sultan's only known for his Thresh, right? No one really worries about anything else.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you don't really target ban the support out
No, you don't. But
for their Thresh.
no,
So,
no, you don't. You just pick fucking Morgana and laugh at him.
yeah.
So
But
and then
Thresh is really
Mecha
good.
Nerds.
Whenever we get it, it's pretty happy for me in the ball lane. But
Mecha's,
I know
Mecha's
Nasty
good.
is good too.
No, yeah, I'll always ban Thresh against Sultan. Like, and also, what disappointed me a little bit was the casters were like, "Oh, that's a target ban against Vishra about the Vel'Koz," but actually, like Sultan was trying to increase his pool a lot by playing Vel'Koz, which I guess doesn't really work that well for him considering he
His
also
mid
plays
laner.
with like a Vel'Koz main as his mid laner. So yeah, like the Vel'Koz ban was like double whammy towards both of them. But banning Thresh and Vel'Koz was like cutting down their champ pool pretty significantly there.
So and
Yeah.
I think Mecha Nerd's probably a really good top laner compared to.
Oh, he is probably. I would put him as. He played in the Premier League a bit, and he's just kind of been sitting around playing with us now. And he is the definition of a carry top laner. Him and Fully Anointed, I would put as the probably two best top laners in minor league. Posen, I know he's good, but I haven't. He just recently got there, so I can't just. After playing top for 2 weeks and a half, I'm not going to put him best top laner. Plus,
Yeah, that's
I've
fair.
pretty much only seen him on Malphite, so you can't really.
Oh
say
yeah,
much.
you were in the Malphite game, right?
Yeah, that was us. That was us.
Because he plays that, and he played Fiora too.
Yeah, we got Malphite. I can't really say if someone's good because they can press R over
Yeah,
champion.
but he pressed R so good.
Have you seen Ty's Malphite R?
Okay, never mind. Yeah, Ty can show me.
Yeah, he didn't miss any ultis, so you got to give him that.
Yeah, but he was good. He was good. But yeah, Mech's just a really good carry top laner, and he has a really good champion pool too. He's probably our strong point, other than our amazing AD carry and support. So, But yeah, I guess that's our team. We're pretty chill.
So okay, so we have Elysium offsite. Where do you think we're gonna talk about where these teams are gonna place a little bit too, but I'm sorry, Swifty, I'm not gonna put you in top 5.
sue yourself. I mean, as of right now, especially with our, we actually got a really good analyst. I don't know how, but I posted my thing for looking for analyst maybe a day or like a couple hours before a posting did, and I get a response of a guy that coached like Team Imagine and stuff, and I'm like, oh,
What the
okay,
fuck?
sweet, sweet, I'll
You
take this.
sniped our analyst.
So he just comes over and he's helping us. So I mean, yeah.
Okay, so wait.
We haven't done anything with them
We'll
really
talk
yet.
about it. I just don't see how you fit in the top 5 with some of these teams. We'll talk about it in a minute. I get last team is obviously Spooky Crime Time, whose roster is gone. As far as I know, there is no one in that roster except for Trash Waifu. Or Waifu.
But he's support, right?
Yeah.
So how did his roster break down? I don't know. Did they leave or did they get the pitchfork from the support player?
I don't know if anyone else knows more than I do, but from what it sounds like, he put together this team to get into minor leagues, and then he was putting together a new team. And I know like Wumple left because Wumple was on his team. And Wumple went to the premier team. This is where Wumple gets his memes from.
Okay.
But it I don't know, because I know like Corrupt Hope was White Lightning's old mid laner who wasn't playing, but then he decided to play only for Swiss tournament, which I don't know, that's a little weird to me. But who am I to judge, right? I don't know. So, and then wasn't there other players who are on premier teams? Or is
Yeah, he tried to bribe Christina to play for him. He did the whole 9 yards. I honestly don't think they should be in the minor league at all, just because he went in with a random roster of ragtags thrown together. I obviously congrats on making it, and that's not, they barely had any practice at all, but Corrupt pretty much carried their asses every game. But they took the spot over teams that were together practicing and were going to play in the minor league, and he's revamping his entire roster as soon as he went in with the full intention to do that. So I mean, who knows? I
don't think that's
Yeah.
very fair.
That seems shady.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
shady, and I like Dev, but I don't know. I think that was wrong for other teams, who actually did practice and stuff like that. And then we obviously had BM Thunder got DQ'd.
I thought they were gonna be. They
No,
definitely would have made it in.
From
but,
what I heard, they got DQ'd.
No, they
yeah,
won.
no, they did. But
So I don't know why they got DQ'd, but from what I heard, it was because they were trying to have players in there, who weren't supposed to be, or maybe they were trying to get a sub because one of their players couldn't make it beforehand, and so they got DQ'd. But I know Spooky Crime Time put both of its players pretty. I don't know. I'm not a mod, so I don't know.
I know they have like some internal issues. I've heard from some of them, and like their jungler just decided it wasn't worth continuing, and he just like formed his own team for like dynamic Q for the season. He's not even playing. Like I heard from them that they dropped out, not that they got DQ'd.
Oh, okay, because I heard
what I heard from Code was that they were Anson. The exact wording he told me was Anton's being a retard, so we're dropping out. So it sounds like they were kind of being pressured that you can't do this, so we're saying fuck it, fuck you
They're
guys.
probably
So
trying to do something illegal.
yeah, like
probably
yes, illegal.
kind of like putting your
Well,
players
it's
together
for-
like 10 minutes before the Swiss. I don't know what. So I don't know. Maybe that's. So,
Yeah, but they were definitely. I would put them in. They were gonna be pretty good with Code. Code's obviously a good player. Spellbinding's decent. She's like a solid player. So, yep.
so yeah. So
That's
the
that. I predict them last. I'm just predicting them last right now, unless they get a roster. Well, obviously I can't predict them because they don't have a roster. But never mind. So ignore my prediction, because then Dev's gonna go out and get 5 master players and be like, "Hey, Swifty predicted me last. He's a fucking fag."
yeah right.
No, we actually scrimmed Dev tonight just before House After Party, and his team has the potential to be good. Like he has a couple.
Wait, does he have a full team?
No. No, he was
He might be just trying people out. Yeah.
Yeah, he was rotating
Okay.
people like support and top, but him and whoever he ends up deciding to play with as AD, they're gonna be a really formidable bot lane. They'll probably be like in the upper bracket of minor league bot lanes, but it's up to like whoever they pick for top. And I think their jungler is pretty good, because I think he's still using. I don't know if he wants me to release it actually, but his jungler has a little bit of like a champ pool, issue too in the jungle, but if he just keeps practicing jungle and spamming it instead of other stuff, um, like in solo queue and practices it, I know that he'd be like a good team player. So it's not going to be a bad team, but it's not going to be a whole team of masters either, like you said.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens. I know.
Mhm.
So, obviously we have all these teams. Let's do a ranking really fast here. Where you think? So who? Give me top three first of all, right? So
I mean,
I
I
think
guess I'll start. I put even though Warriors went 6-0, I feel
5-0
like
technically.
all right, yeah.
We had a
All
bye.
right, okay. Oh, that changed everything.
We
But
had a bye.
I guess that just kind of goes with my point. Even though they're undefeated, the only team undefeated, I feel like it was best of one. You can't really judge a true skill out of that. So
Sure.
I do think Syndicate is going to probably be the best team. Warriors probably second best team, and then I'm putting Elysium at third. I'm just saying
No.
it
Oh my
right now.
god.
no.
Yeah, I'm doing it.
Yeah,
I'm doing it.
biased.
But
Okay.
okay, obviously, all right. I mean, that's obviously where I want, not where I want to be. I want to get second and first, but that's where we probably kind of aim for right now. But leaving us out, obviously, since that would be too biased. I would probably
You can put yourself on third. That's fine.
I would probably put third place is going to be Blue Milk, then Team Dot, then right now I probably put us, then Purdue. Then Purple Pirates, and then Sweet Crime Time. Obviously, they don't have a roster, but judging based on performance, so I'm only putting us above Purdue just because we beat them. Best of one again, but I think that we're just a better team. So
Okay. So my top three are gonna be Syndicate. I think then second and third it'll be between. I think it's gonna be between Warriors, and Purdue Collegiate. That's who I'm betting. So
Alright.
I think 2 or 3 is a toss up. So
Do you want our biased opinions or?
yeah, no, go ahead.
Warriors number one. No
Yeah.
exceptions.
That's fine. So
Oh.
you think one is Warriors, and obviously Naz thinks Syndicate's number one.
Well, I don't.
Yeah,
I
I mean-
to be honest, during our game, we only, like you said, it's the best of one, but we should have lost that game for sure. Like when you guys set that 1-3-1 up, and if you
Yeah.
guys if you waited like 20 seconds, we would have lost the game.
I was just like, it's in that when you play Lucian versus a really long range comp, it's not like Lucian or Vayne are two champs I play a lot, and when you play them versus a long range comp, and you're like the carry of your team, you're the one doing all the damage. Like I have a Lulu with me, so I'm gonna have to go in. You just get in this rhythm, and like your heart's pumping, like got adrenaline going, and actually I just got reminded of a video in FPS is like boom headshot. You know that video? Have any of you seen the boom headshot video?
Yep.
And my heart's beating, my heart's racing. Yeah. Anyway, so that's basically what it's like. Like you're just so used to being in everybody's face to be able to do damage, getting in and getting out. But the mistake I made was not waiting for that 1-3-1 to set up. I go in mid, and that's the one place where they're supposed to set up their 5 to make a miracle catch. Like 1%, I full retard into their team.
Yeah, you get melee attacked by Gangplank. And
Yeah,
that was it.
It moved in because Opposin did this the entire game on GP. He would move up really like way too far. I'd E like double crit to his face, Q double crit, and he'd just die. And that happened during that like 1v3, 2v3 triple kill mid. I figured it would go the same way. I didn't know that they had Spooky Ghost ready. They had I forgot what speed up it was. I think they used a speed up, and then I think Clark hit me with Charm or something after I had already QSS'd. And then it was over, like just like that. So,
Yeah, it was just bad timing for sure.
and the thing is too, like we hadn't played versus Soraka in a really long time. We just learned like so much off of that game. Like Wawa got every chance that they had to like fight back. They fought back really hard, and it all amounted like into even to the end of the game from beginning to end. And then when I screwed up, they pressed on it instantly, which a lot of minor league teams can't do that. Honestly, like. There are some games I'll screw up and I still have like an insane KDA. But every single time I mispositioned, Wawa killed me. Every time. So I think, yeah, they're still definitely top 2 with us. But we did learn a lot off of the game with Wawa. And I don't think we're going to be making those mistakes ever again. So.
Okay, so that's 2. Who's third?
I think third.
You going with Team Dot?
Yeah, I say Team Dot. Like, they do have a little bit of champ pool issues. but I think they play out their laning phase and then their mid game team fighting better than most teams, and then probably like what's it called?
Purdue.
Yeah, Purdue. And then it's toss up from there. It totally depends what Dev brings too. Like
Yeah.
Dev's team is probably going to be in contention for fifth, maybe fourth, like maybe if they end up meshing really well. So I think Dev and Swifty's team like fifth, sixth, and then the last two teams are irrelevant. So
Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah, I don't know. I only have 1 through 3. I don't know a lot of the. We only played against 6 teams, whatever, and not everybody we played made it. So I know. I'm hoping Wawa will be top 3. Syndicate obviously was by far the best team we played,
By far.
by far. And then Dot, we did play against Dot. Dot looks good too, but they, like I said, their champ pool and their picks were really strange. But I'm sure once they get that ironed out, their skill was fine. So I'm assuming it'll be something like one of those guys up top 3.
Okay, so that's the teams. That's our rankings. Let's go into the games a little bit. Obviously, we've talked about yours a little bit. I want to go over this pick ban phase and what your guys' plan was. And obviously, we talked a little bit about the execution there. So, blue side, Warriors. You banned Zillion, Zed, Zyra. Zillion and Zed are obviously target bans onto Theo and Frosty. There was the Zyra ban. And then the red side bans were Nami, Zach, Eve. And then the picks for Warriors was Soraka, Rek'Sai, Ari, Ezreal, Gangplank. And picks for Red Side Syndicate was Trundle, Lulu, Lucian, Mundo, Elise. So, Warriors, your blue side, what was your idea going into this?
I mean, I don't want to give too much away because this was pre-pick ban coach, so we didn't have a huge strategy. Obviously, like you said, our bans. Apparently, Alex plays a lot of support Zillion, which I hadn't seen before, so we decided to get rid of that. And then Zed, if you ever want to beat me in lane, you pick Zed, as Swifty's seen. I just can't. I get tilted by Zed. So we banned Zed. And then apparently he plays Zyra too, so we banned Zyra, and we wanted the 3Zs. And then our picks are straight up comfort picks. Like Gizmus on Ezreal. Ari's my top 3 played. Opposing loves Gangplank. So it was just a comfort comp. We didn't have like a set comp going in. We were just like pick what you're comfortable on. And Soraka's just OP, so we just fucking picked Soraka. There wasn't like some crazy mastermind behind this comp we pulled out.
I mean, I can go kind of like in depth. I don't know if you guys were playing this specifically, but as soon as Zillion and Zyra were banned, Alex instantly he told me like just a second too late. Like it was actually when we were in champs or in loading screen. He was like, I fucking knew they were gonna pick Soraka. I should have said something like louder. But he said that as soon as like Zillion and Zyra were banned, because those are really good picks for him into Soraka, he was like, they're gonna first pick Soraka. We honestly have not played versus Soraka in God knows how long. Even when she's open in scrims lately, a lot of the supports have been playing the more playmaking stuff, or they've been flexing the Trundle or Tom Kench, whatever it may be. So that threw us off totally. And then we picked Lulu Trundle, which instantly, like, I don't know. I don't think we should have ended up putting the Trundle bot. Like, the Trundle's a really good flex. So is Lulu. And from coaching in NACS and studying the game a lot, like, everybody has a boner for flex picks right now. In everywhere. Like, Tom Kench, top support. Trundle, top support. Mundo, top and potentially jungle. Graves, jungle top. Lissandra, mid top. Lulu, solo lanes as always. Etc., etc. Corki, ADC mid. Ezreal. So we picked the flexes. They were really OP flexes. But they are not good picks into poke and sustain. And that's
that's for sure.
Into.
I don't see the Trundle lane. Trundle versus Soraka just sounds like a nightmare for the Trundle lane. Like I don't know what the fuck he's supposed to do in that lane.
Yeah. So we ended up like not really being able to do anything at all. It's not our style. Like Alex and I are used to just stomping down your throat, like whatever it may be. And I ended up still getting like an enormous CS lead that game, just because I found the farm. And
yeah, you had the most. You had 350. You had like 100 over everybody.
Yeah, I'm always like up there in the CS numbers, but that's just the way it went. Like, and their comp ended up playing out. As soon as they picked Ezreal second, like in second rotation, I'm like, fuck, dude, because I knew that Gizmus has played Ezreal to success, and then they had Soraka, Ezreal, and what was the other pick in second rotation for them?
So they did Soraka, Rek'Sai, Ari, Ezreal, Gangplank. That's in pick order. So first pick was Soraka, second, third pick was Rek'Sai, Ari, so their third rotation was Ezreal, Gangplank.
Oh, the third rotation was Ezreal. Okay, well, because I was thinking I could have taken Ezreal in second rotation and denied it, but I wanted to be on Lucian. I wanted to be on my comfort. I wanted to just like take it out from early to mid game and like just take it out from the gates, set the tone in lane, whatever it may be. And I knew that I love playing Lucian with Lulu. Like I absolutely love playing it, even though he is a shorter range carry. Just having the move speed and being able to maneuver around and use like the best of my micro, um, was it's just something that I know that I can succeed with. But yeah, they ended up outranging the shit out of us. And even though opposing's gangplank, honestly, it wasn't that good. I think because of the way it fit into the comp so well, it's like all zone control. It's all outrange you, and if you're gonna move up, we're gonna put barrels in your face. Clark is gonna snipe your ass with charm and Q, and then all of a sudden you got Ezreal like with blue build just slamming you with Qs. So, um, yeah, they just outdrafted us.
I
Like,
know.
Yeah.
Fangy said that Warriors won because of draft. I'm pretty close.
I mean,
I
they
don't
won
think
because
that's true.
well,
I feel like, as Naz was saying, like they had
Yeah.
it was their game to win, honestly, just because they had, I don't know if that's the correct term, but I'd say they had an advantage, and Syndicate would have had to just play much better than, and
if
then
you
not.
if you watch that game and go to 9 minutes, there is one point where Syndicate gives up 5 kills in the course of a minute.
yo,
So
yeah,
I
that's
mean, really, like kind of like you were saying earlier, if a team gets 5 kills, it shouldn't be that close of a game.
I totally forgot to mention that too. Actually, is when we went bot because we're not used to the Soraka dynamic where she's just gonna sit back and heal everyone, and we think, okay, when we skirmish, we're gonna keep track of cooldowns, and then we're gonna be totally fine. Like when someone's low, they're gonna stay low, and if they're like non-threat, then either we kill them if we can, or we move on to the next target. We couldn't do that because like Soraka healed everyone up, and then they turned on us in a way that we hadn't been turned on ever before in a bot lane skirmish. Because they always go like 2-0, 3-0 for us. We take dragon, we take tower, we reset, and the game's over then because we have like a big enough lead.
Yeah,
where
I
it
think
doesn't matter.
Warriors did a really good job where they would jump in with Ari, right? Ari would get to a quarter health, do a dash back, Soraka would heal her to full health, and she would dash back in.
Yeah.
So
So they used their comp really well there, especially in that skirmish, and we just got screwed. And then after that, I wasn't like, oh shit, we lost the game, but I knew it was gonna be really hard. After like when you see 003 Soraka, like the experience they got out of it, the gold they got out of it, and now like they can play super safe and just scale with this comp that outranges us. It was unreal.
yeah. So okay, moving on to the next game, we have Warriors versus Team Dot. So Clark, this is your show now because you obviously played this game. The bands
I
were
did play this game.
the bands were Ari LeBlanc Malphite for blue side, which was you, and their bands were Lulu Gangplank Soraka, obviously saying that they didn't want to deal with that shit. The picks for you guys were Janna, Nunu, Fiora, Jinx, Lulu, and their picks were Mundo, Ezreal, Sona, Poppy, and Zillion. I haven't seen a Sona in a while. Oh.
Yeah, that was a interesting game. Like I've talked about their comp before. I didn't really understand it. We were like, not even. I don't know. We just said we'll just play as slow as we can. Like we don't have to force anything because they didn't have a single carry threat. But like Ezreal's their carry. Blue Ezreal's their only damage source. They're running Zillion mid with Poppy jungle and Mundo top. Like they had zero threat comp besides Ezreal. So we just waited until like, what was it? 35 minutes was when the game ended, and we had Jinx Janna, and they just fucking tore it up. Like Jinx Janna Nunu was our like trifecta there, and even I'm on Lux as like a supportive mid, so we just outscaled with the ADCs, to be honest.
Yeah, so that was weird. I don't know.
I just don't understand the Zillion pick.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think Zillion's really good, but yeah, I don't know.
Because we were down in gold the entire up until 27 minutes. And then we just flipped the switch. We outscaled them because what are they gonna do late game with that comp?
Yeah. So, did you guys have a hard time with that game at all? Like, because I know you said you were down gold a little bit, but
Yeah, we were down the whole game, like, almost starting from like minute. What was it? I have the thing up. Minute 3 that we were down. So they were like ahead of us in lane for sure.
so you think when they get their pick ban phase up, you guys are gonna be able to beat them? Because obviously,
Yeah,
that
they just had a weird draft. I think if
Okay.
they had better picks, it would have been a lot different.
Okay.
Because they seem strong, like mechanically. They were ahead the whole game. Their lane phase is pretty good.
Nice. So Team Dot, there we go. Let's go and betting on. No, not really. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
I do
Obviously-
think they're good though. We
I think
didn't
they're
we
good.
didn't
I
play
think
them,
they're-
but we were afraid of them. We just saw them and knew that they were pretty decent and they had good players. So we're like, we hope we don't get matched up against them. So
Okay. So the third and final game, Swifty, this is your shining light. It was Syndicate versus Elysium. Obviously, Syndicate doing the respectable bans, Vel'Koz, Gangplank, Thresh.
Yeah, those are pretty much our three main
Yeah,
players.
and
Like Mech's a filthy Gangplank player, Solden's a great Thresh, and Vishwa's main Vel'Koz. And then obviously we went over how fucked up our champion select was.
yeah, but you guys
So
banned Zillion, Lulu, Trundle, so
yeah, we'd hate Lulu because she's just super annoying. Zillion, Alex is just a ridiculously good Zillion, and then Trundle's just really strong, and Noided's a fantastic Trundle. So, and we always get shit on whenever Noided gets Trundle. But yeah, they I feel like that game was
let's go over the picks real
um
fast, because when I
oh,
saw this, I kind of laughed a little bit.
all
So,
right, yeah,
Syndicate
yeah,
gets Tom Kench, Mundo, Lucian, Victor, and Rek'Sai. Three of those picks, I would argue, are very, very strong picks. Um,
yep.
and then you guys
Good
got
thing,
Janna,
good thing we
which
took Janna and Jarvan in first
right,
rotation.
you
Am I
got
right, guys?
Janna, J4, Fiora, Corki, and Lux. So they have blue one, so you got that.
Yeah,
Mundo,
yeah.
Lucian.
Yeah, we I didn't really want to play Corki at all. In fact, I actually really wanted to take Lucian because I knew if I didn't take it, Naz would have taken it. And then I didn't want to play Vayne into Tom Kench Lucian. I just would have. Oh my god, that would have been even more cancer than the lane we already faced was. But yeah, Corki and Janna is just not good. It's just not a good lane. Like they just don't do anything. We just sit there. We got a really lucky kill when Alex forgot to use his thick skin. So I was like, hey.
Right now. I'm about to rage quit right now. Like, rage quit this shit. Because when it happened, I was like, what? And Alex was like, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. He literally just started spamming. He's like, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry.
Oh
Yeah,
my
so
god, it was.
so
It was
I want to talk a little bit about Rek'Sai, because I think Rek'Sai should be a lot more priority pick for some people, and I don't know if you agree or disagree, Naz, because obviously you do this, but
Mhm.
I feel like no one plays Rek'Sai really. I mean,
Her
Warriors
tremor
Warrior
senses
did.
are really good. Yeah, like when she came out, the Korean junglers use her best with her tremor senses to like she has a lot of uses, honestly. You can go warrior if you're doing really well early and you can carry the game and depending on comp, and she does a lot of damage, like she gets CDR off it. You can go Cinder Hulk and then go full like aura with like Locket, get tank stats and just be straight up like beefy and then be more of a utility bot for your team than a damage dealer. Um, but she has really good ganking, really good counter ganking, clears the jump really well. The only issue is that like mid to late game, obviously, like an Elise pick or even mid game like an Italy pick ends up being better for you. But not many people play Rek'Sai like Bladed does, where if he can't really get like a huge advantage over the enemy jungler, he always finds them. Like one thing he does really, really well, and one of the reasons that I wanted him as my jungler is he will find the enemy jungler. Whether he finds them by counter jungling and noticing, okay, they're not on this side of the jungle, they must be somewhere else. So he tells us right away. And he's gotten so good about talking. And like Bladed's communication has gotten so good since we started playing. So I think a jungler that knows how to play Rek'Sai, honestly Galzarian too, like if he's as good of a shot caller as you say, a guy like that can really utilize Rek'Sai well. But for that pick ban too, Swifty, I was gonna in second rotation, I was about to take Vayne instead of Lucian, just to like ball out the last game. It was like everything on the line.
I hoped you did because I'd much rather play Lucian against them.
Yeah, well the thing is, I did that. I was like about to hover Vayne, and then I was like, wait, doesn't Swifty play Draven? Because I remembered from a casted in house way back, like when I first joined House Party, there was a highlight on the front page that you played Draven, and it was like, this is why you banned Draven against Swifty and in houses. And I was like, I am not playing Vayne into Draven.
God damn it.
So that's why I ended up picking that Lucian there.
Yeah, well, yeah. After that, I was thinking if he picks Vayne, then I'll just probably pick Draven if my team wants me to because I haven't really played it lately just since my I've just kind of been spamming Lucian because he's free low. But yeah, Draven's. Yeah, if you pick Vayne, you're not gonna have fun against that. Although you did have Tom Kench, so it really kind of is difficult to play Draven against that or against a lot of things. But yeah, I would have done it. So good thing you picked that. But I feel like the draft just went everything went wrong. And then once we got into game, we our mech got a pretty big lead on Fiora. He was up like 25 CS at one point, but then he just had this huge misplay where he went in with no mana and messed up his riposte, and then you just got snowballed on there from then because Renekton just shit on him, and then Frosty kept roaming top, and then we had that bot lane where we were pushed up too far and got TP'd on. Luckily, only John had died, But then we countered with our own fun time party bot. Naz is pretty upset about that. But
I actually messaged Swifty because I knew if I all chatted I'd get in trouble for it. But Swifty's my voice and wouldn't care, and I was like, "Are you being actually serious right now?" Because it was 5 people. Like I did not think there was any way in hell they were gonna send 5 people bot. So when I moved back in on Jarvan, I thought I was getting backup from the tribe rush because I was like, surely it's like our champions in the heat of the moment, and then turns out it's like enemy champs still coming down, but we got the tower off it at the top lane.
yeah,
So-
but it was kind of decent for us. But then we just wanted kills, so we were kind of tilted. And then I get the package, and me and my quirky skills decide to go in, and then as soon as I go in, I'm like, well, what the fuck? Why isn't that like 2 hitting me? And then I look and he has 2 BF swords. I'm like, all right, that was fun. Apparently that's the new build for Lucian. So everyone pretty much around the map was not doing good, and our only breaks were when you guys misplayed, like when Alex didn't pop his thick skin. I was like, hey, we got a kill. We're better than this thing.
Okay.
But yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna move on because as much as I want to talk about that game, that was a stomp. Let's move on to the games that are. I want to hear you guys' predictions for this week. So, who do you think is going to win? So obviously, I'm gonna go through these games, and I want you to each say who you think is gonna win. So the first game that's gonna happen is Blue Milk Freeze versus Warriors. I'm betting on Warriors. Swifty.
I mean,
yeah.
yeah.
I'm going Warriors.
I would like to bet on myself.
Okay,
I hope so.
You're betting on yourself. Okay.
I'm betting on myself.
So we're going with Warriors. I'm gonna write that in so that way we can write this later. Syndicate versus Purple Pirates. I'm going with Syndicate.
Syndicate all the way.
Same.
You too, Clark.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Naz, Syndicate,
Yeah,
Purple
yeah.
Pirates.
Yeah. Okay.
No, they're gonna shit on us, absolutely.
So Purdue versus Team Dot.
I'd say Team Dot.
That's-
That's gonna be a good game.
Yeah,
I think Dot, but that's gonna be the one to watch, dude. I think Team Dot takes out.
Yeah. I would
unless-
think
yeah,
that.
yeah.
But Purdue, I don't know. I feel like Purdue might have the resources to like have like some serious like pick ban plan for that game.
Yeah, I think they were looking for a coach. Like, there's an NA free agents chat, and they were looking for like a coach or analyst in there. Last I checked, so.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Purdue. Yeah, we'll see, but I'm going with Purdue. I'm gonna take the risk and Elysium versus Spooky Crime Time. I have no idea because I don't know what Spooky Crime Time's
yeah.
roster. So right now I'm going with Elysium.
Is there like a roster locked like time date for that?
Friday,
It's
I think.
Friday, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
So
we'll
I
know.
mean, maybe it'll change, but
Against their old roster, 100% us win. Against their new roster, I obviously can't tell. Hopefully,
you mean
no.
their old roster with Corrupt Hope and Wumple? No, I'm sorry, I'm not giving you that.
There's no way.
No.
Oh my God.
No.
There's
No,
no
I
way.
think
No
it would be,
way.
I think it would be a skill matchup. I think Shrifty's team could win. I'll give that to him. Like, I do think that Dev's old roster was super stacked. And I
With
would
Corrupt
say-
Hope. Corrupt Hope was stacked. That was the.
No, I'm sorry, but I think that you guys have just too many. Like, pick ban phase would hurt you too bad.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure Corrupt Hope would have walked all over Vistra with a good pick ban. So,
Mhm.
okay. Team Dot
I-
versus Elysium. I'm going with Team Dot.
I'm going with.
You're being
I'm-
biased and going Elysium.
I'm biased. I'm not going to answer. Come on.
Okay, okay, that's. I'm biased. I'm not gonna answer. Okay, Clark and Naz.
I'll throw Elysium a bone.
What about you?
I'm sorry, 50.
Thank you.
I think
Clark, I'm not going
Mhm.
to let you.
Naz, what
Yeah,
about
you
you?
can't fuck up now.
Team Dot.
Team Dot. Okay, that's what I thought.
Fair.
Okay, next is Warriors versus Purdue. I'm going with Warriors.
I'm saying, yeah, Warrior.
Yeah.
Wawa. It's 2-0 this week.
I'm confident in that matchup.
It's actually unreal. Like, I think I thought at first opposing would crash and burn going from ADC to top, but like he's doing
He did,
fine. He's not feeding. In some games he's actually like one lane or done pretty well, and like the team's just been doing great. Like Clark has a jungler that he needs with Galzaren that doesn't need all that many resources but can shot call real well. So I
Yeah,
think
he gives me like every blue buff no matter what.
yeah, that's awesome. So I think they win that one.
Yep. Spooky Crime Time versus Syndicate. I'm going with Syndicate.
Ease.
Yeah, same.
And then the last one, Purple Pirates versus Blue Milk Freeze. The game to watch, guys.
Yeah, no, definitely Blue Milk.
I think Blue Milk freeze.
Yeah, me too.
I have no idea who is even on either of those rosters.
Yeah, I'm going with Yeah, you'll know after this weekend, but I'm pretty sure that it's gonna be purple or blue milk freeze. We'll see though. Maybe I'll be wrong.
I thought people were saying that the Pirates were like a team to look out for.
Yeah, people said that.
Yeah, I don't know why. I mean,
I think they're
got
overhyped,
really
but
lucky. They played. I was talking to some of their players, and they were talking about how they were playing some really bad teams. But yeah, I feel like oh my god, I just completely forgot what I was gonna say.
overhyped.
Yeah,
That's fair.
I mean, that's
Yeah,
team
and
wise.
I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, we'll find out. So, but I don't know that much about blue milk freeze either. So
Let's take some Twitch questions.
yeah, now we'll
boy.
do Twitch questions, and then we'll be out of here.
Yeah. Gotta go jerk off and go to bed. But anyway, all right. So I guess
What the fuck?
What the
What's this?
just kidding.
TMI? Holy
Kappa,
He's not
Kappa.
kidding, dude. He's not kidding.
All right, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, all right, yeah. Twitch, go ahead and ask some sick questions. We'll see. Oh god! All right, what are your thoughts on the subs from Team Syndicate? All right, Naz. That would be too biased.
think
Gordon's one of the subs. Who's the other sub?
No, you have Gordon and
Say
Hero
real quick,
filled over.
It's Gordon and Hero. Gordon is a really good flex sub. He's played a lot of different stuff for us, support mid, namely. But today he played some ADC and scrims and did really well. He popped off. So, and Hero is our top sub and has sometimes played AD too. And he's actually outlaned Diamond 1 ADCs playing ADC and like really surprised us and scrims that I wasn't able to make it to. So, I honestly think we have some of the best subs in the league that could very well be starters in other places. Like when I approached Gordon, I thought, oh, this guy's probably going to want to be a starter for another team after having played like with YouTubers and all that. But he was like totally fine with being our sixth man. He loves it, so they help out a lot.
Fair enough. All right, that's a stupid question. Give your thoughts on Team Dot's top laner. I have no. I mean, I know it's Sensei Cat, so you're asking about yourself, but I didn't get to see any games you played, so.
I mean, the game we played against him, it seems like he was like a dominant laner, and I don't know if we even banned his Rengar against him, but his Mundo looked strong. It was just
You guys didn't.
they got ahead early, yeah, with Mundo. So I think his lane mechanics are pretty good.
How do you? This one's for you, Clark. How do you feel the game versus Team Dot would have ended if they had a hyper carry and engaged jungle top?
I mean, I would like to think we would still have the W over them, but I think it would have been a lot better for them because once the game dragged on long enough, yeah, they had nothing to fall back on. They definitely need to get, if they're going to run support mid and double tank line, they can't run like Ezreal, I don't think.
We have one from Fangy for Naz. Naz, it looked like from my perspective as a spectator that there were communication issues between the team and Bladed in your game versus Wawa. Did you feel that? Did you feel that like there was communication issues, and what created this desync?
Honestly, being 100% serious, and I don't know if I've even mentioned this to Bladed straight up yet. I was planning on talking to him about it. I think he was so used to being able to autopilot his mind when he was like playing these games, right? And just either farm or just go through his routine. So he's used to his routine of I'm gonna do this and that, and that's it. Like the laners will just shit on everyone, and then we're gonna group mid game and win. But that didn't happen. Like because he was on autopilot, I think sometimes he wasn't 100% aware of what was happening, and I think he got like caught out a couple deaths that he shouldn't have. And that rarely ever happens. Like at first, we had a couple times where we would just stomp teams in scrims. So we're like a couple games in, everybody autopilots, and the game gets close, but we're not 100% focusing. But as a team, that's something we have to focus on. Is we can't autopilot. Like you have to be focused and disciplined and in control the entire time of like what you're doing.
Can't be a dead gazelle, right?
Exactly. Yeah. No tilt.
No tilt. So, on a serious note, this is for both of you. What do you guys think about the double 80 carry comps, or even triple 80 carry, which are coming out now?
You can go ahead, Clark, since I've been talking so much.
I think if you run Corki with one of them, I think it's good. I think putting too many eggs into the ADC basket, if you and the other team drafts like Rammus Malphite, you can get in kind of a sticky situation. But if you diversify, like Corki mid right now, I think is actually kind of OP. So if you run that in your comps with like just standard ADC bot, I think that has a lot of potential.
Yeah. There was I'm not gonna say exactly who, but the roster was announced just today on the front page of League of Legends subreddit.
Saint Vicious
Against all the time. And they're Mid laner had gone to Korea, come back, and he's always known for really weird picks. But all of a sudden, like everyone's running, like Triforce, Infinity Edge, Essence Reaver, Corki all the time, right? All of a sudden, you see these comps start coming out, not just from them, but from other teams too that had visited Korea and come back, and they're playing Corki.
Oh, you cut out again, Naz. You cut out on me. Naz. Nazareth.
Holy shit! Where did I cut out this time?
Corky. They
Korea?
were playing Corky.
Okay, yeah. So there were a ton of teams actually that had either Korean players that they imported or went to Korea to boot camp and came back. And all of a sudden, you're seeing like this Corky with Triforce and Rapid Fire Cannon and Sork Shoes instead of going Triforce into Infinity Edge into Essence Reaver, which was super standard at the time. And the Rapid Fire Cannon gives you an auto on top of your rockets from that long of range that if it crits, it deals like mad deeps with your magic damage. And it's just amazing in a poke comp. So people are drafting Rapid Fire Cannon, Corki with Ezreal and flexing it mid and AD, and you hit mid game and it's just over. Like 99% of the time, you don't even know what Corki's going to build after his Triforce Rapid Fire Cannon because he gets those at his Sork Shoes and the game is absolutely over. So those AD comps are sweet. Like they're honestly really hard to blow past. So, yeah.
Yeah, cool. So this one's from Dave. Naz Clark, do you guys enjoy House Party 5v5 from a high elo perspective, and thoughts on what they need to do to improve House Party?
I just joined like really recently, and it was in the off season, so I think my perspective is like super biased because there was no solo queue to play at the time. Like I don't know. Like when it's preseason, I don't play much solo queue at all. So finding like this in-house ladder was like the perfect substitute just to like get some kind of competitive experience in while solo queue is a mess. So I think it's even if the games are not always like full master, full diamonds or whatever, I think it's still a really fun time, and especially get to play against the same people like weekly and you get to know people. It's a lot more fun than just stopping on like some solo queue people or whatever.
I think it's awesome. Like I have a really good solo league win rate last season. I think like the comms that you get to have while you're just playing like solo league, and then the community that you have, even as like a higher elo player. I have Peak Master. Like when I dropped down to D3, I just hadn't been playing for a while, and I actually time decayed from D1 ADLP. But I mean, competition wise, there is good competition between like mid to high diamond, low master. Would I like to see like super stack teams of Master Challenger, like high Master and Challenger? Not really, especially because I know they won't really show up because a lot of them are trying to go for like NACS and stuff. So this is honestly like a really good community, high elo or low elo. Like I've seen, obviously we have the Diamond Slayers like Ashiko, Baka Talmana or whatever. Sometimes they'll beat the higher elo people, and it's just fun overall. And then having that community feel to like just playing on a team is awesome. So
yeah, I mean, yeah. Obviously, I'm not as good, even though I am ranked the same as Naz right now. Come on, Dave, you forgot that. But yeah, it's fun. I like helping people too. Like they'll be like, "Hey, what do I build now?" And I will be like, "Using my unique perspective as a Diamond 3 player." And yeah, but anyway, but no, it's enjoyable. A question for someone that you skipped over was, what do you think about Warriors support? It's Chris Brown senpai, I think, and. Every single game I've seen him play has either been on Nami or Soraka, and there's his Nami was pretty decent, but obviously when you watch someone Soraka, you can't tell them if it's a brain dead monkey or a human.
Can you
so
press
I don't know.
W and R? If so,
yeah. So he's solid though. He has really good positioning with Soraka. So we could make any play. We've scrimmed them like twice, and they've got Soraka. And back when Opposing was the AD carry, and he was always just way out of range and just keeping Opposing alive. So yeah, he's decent, I guess. I don't know.
this one, I got this one. Clark, if there's a guy that wants to learn mid, what champ/thing should you remember? Same question for Naz, but I'm assuming for AD carry.
What champs should he remember?
Yeah. So,
and like things, I guess. Little
champs
things.
and things. Okay, yeah, I would say don't even worry about champs, dude. Just I don't know. I hate these like, what do I play to climb elo? Like just get like 3 champions max that you're like comfortable on and just spam them in normals or something. I don't think you need to like pick meta or pick any type of like, oh, he picked this, I'm gonna counterpick it. Just like as you've seen from like the high elo players, like I'm sure you've seen like Apto will pick TF and like anything. It's all comfort. You just find three picks max and just comfort them, and you don't have to worry about like any of the meta bullshit.
For AD, if you want champs, there are right now in the AD meta, like mid meta is pretty diverse and it has been for a couple patches. But for AD right now, Lucian, Ezreal, Tristana's pretty good. Corki obviously, and Callista. You can actually play Callista still, but you need to play it really well as a team and as a duo bot, and snowball early to mid game with it. And then things you need to remember, a lot of people are really bad at wave management. So look up wave management videos or get coaching on it. And that's like huge. Like knowing when to freeze, when to push, how to set up your wave can honestly lead to huge CS leads. And when you see in games, like from my perspective, huge CS leads, it's because when I'm winning, I'm not always pushing and I'm not always freezing. It always depends, like in lane or whatever it may be. So wave control is really important. Obviously your mechanics. So play a lot of the champs that you're going to be playing and just spam games on it and focus on what you can do. That's general solo queue stuff, but what you can do to improve yourself instead of like, thinking about your team. So, yeah.
I like the Clark's idea of just playing 3 champions mid. I think your fundamentals should be good before you start diversifying.
As long as those 3 aren't like Yasuo, Zed.
Yeah, right. Like,
you're fine.
So
Yeah. Yasuo, Zed, and then
one of the things that I'll say for I don't know if you're looking to climb or what, but if you're looking to like climb, a lot of it's attitude. That's quite honestly one of the biggest like downfalls of people is their attitude, and I have quite literally coached people from silver to diamond just because they BM'd and flamed so much that they would rage quit and just lose games. So if your attitude is bad, the only thing you should ever be focusing on is yourself, because that's the only person you can actually change in solo queue. So don't bother changing other people and focus on yourself. GG.
True dat.
True dat. Is there any other good?
Fair enough.
Is there any other good questions?
Yeah. All right. This will be the last question because I'm tired as fuck. What do you think of changing rosters to just find good players and not good attitude players? It's kind of poorly worded, but I guess everyone knows what they're. Everyone knows. All right. Is this what Dev is doing? I feel like Dev is more finding good players. He does the attitude thing. He's finding good players so he can win, and obviously, what else would you find players for? But yeah, I feel like it's not necessarily a cool thing to do. Obviously, everyone wants to win, so they will get players. And when it's as Naz was saying, or someone was saying in chat, what Naz told him, it's esports, where if you're significantly worse than this person, and you want this spot, and what's going to stop them from taking it? It's all down to the captain and how they manage the team. So, yeah, that's my thing.
What do you guys think? Attitude, player skill, both?
I mean, for minor league, I would put some emphasis on attitude because you're going to be playing with these guys, I don't know, X amount of days a week. If you can't stand each other, and this is like minor league to a Premier League and the whole thing is just for fun anyway. It's not like we're winning LCS at the end of this. So I would say make sure the attitude is way more important than if they're like going to go godlike every game. Because if they carry you, but they're like a dick the whole time and you log off and you're like, well, that was unenjoyable, then what's the point?
Yeah, I agree.
Teams there were like challenger teams that were super hyped, like in Challenger 5s, which to me honestly doesn't mean all that much because you can just grind it in the middle of the season, and now they're replacing it because of how irrelevant it was. That had a lot of synergy, like had been playing together for months, that we were just beating off of raw skill when we came in, but I think both are really important. Like, if you want to get into minor league, honestly, I think I have to disagree with Clark here. It's more raw skill can get you through. But in Premier League, what I've noticed is actually a lot of times the teams that have the best synergy like end up pulling that extra mile ahead that it takes to win games. So like even Saul, like first week, nobody thought they would end up going 2-0, and they did just because they played better as a team and like they had a little more synergy from practicing because Rolar keeps on his guys to practice. And he had like an extension of the question, I think, that we could just answer as our last one. Naz and Clark are your team's friends. With us, I knew Frosty from way back. So yeah, we had been friends from duo queuing for a while before. And then the guys that I brought on, we eventually became friends. and we meme like all the fucking time, dude. Like, Raceland is our head and like discipline coach, and so he's starting to get us like a little off the meme train for when we're scrimming or whatever it may be. Like we've been a lot more serious. But I think it's really important for your team to become friends, and if your attitudes don't mesh well, and your personalities don't, a lot of times it can end up being like a problem and even playing together. So.
And I'm gonna say I think you can get both. I mean, there's so many players that play League. Just look outside a house party if you have to, for our players. But there's no reason not to have someone who is highly skilled and has a good attitude. Like really,
For sure.
there isn't. I mean, like Clark said, he's new. You've just got in here. Did someone bring you in, or did you find it on your own, Clark?
Opposing Team Reddit team's post. So I was browsing at work one day, and that's how I got in.
So he brought you in. So that's what I'm saying.
Well, according to Strathagos, he brought me in last year, and I ditched him. But I don't remember any of that.
Oh, okay.
So I'm gonna go with opposing brought me in.
So opposing brought you in. Either way, someone brought you in. But that's what I'm saying. There's no reason not to have someone who is a very, very high skilled player and has a good attitude. So. But yeah, I think that's all we have, right, Swifty?
Yeah,
So,
I don't have anything else.
There's not going to be broadcasts the next couple weeks because I will be in South Dakota doing work with the Cheyenne River Tribe. So I don't think we're going to do it. I think Swifty will be doing some streaming, though, during this
I'll
time.
be doing some pretty sick things, guys.
Some
just
streaming?
just no, maybe not.
We're going to get you streaming.
But I'll be streaming, but we'll see.
And then we are also going to probably doing some montages, and I will probably put up my video here soon on what I think about coaches and what they should be doing, because I think a lot of coaches are really bad, and they shouldn't be coaches at all. And I know that me and Naz have talked about this a little bit, and I'm sure that Clark will be able to agree that some people who are coaching probably shouldn't be coaching, so we'll be doing that. So we're going to be putting up other content, even though we're not going to be doing the show for a couple weeks. So... But I think that's all she wrote, and we will see you guys when we get back. And I hope you guys have a wonderful week, and thank you to Clark and Notorious for coming on here and talking with us.
Thank you.
And I hope
no problem.
everyone has a wonderful day.
Oh wait! I always ask the people, where'd you get your names? Like the Clark and Notorious or Naz. Naz
You
and
can go
Rain.
first, Naz.
Okay, so for me, I've name changed like a million times.
Yeah.
But
I've seen it. Oh my god!
This again, dude. That's where he's just
You
moving his
cut out,
mouth.
Naz,
He's just
you cut
trolling
out.
us.
Naz, you cut out. You cut out on us, man.
Does he lose audio too?
Yeah, he does. No, I don't think he does. I think he just takes
okay,
it.
man. So yeah. Anyway, long story short, this time around I was Nazarene, and we already had the bad guy vibe like Syndicate did, and I love rap.
Bad guy.
And so I had to go with
Big
Notorious.
Papa.
I'm gonna guess beforehand that Clark's name has something to do with Superman, Clark Kent. But you could go ahead.
Clark is my last name in real life, and I am a super creative individual.
All right.
There you go, folks.
Okay. Thank you, everyone, and we will see you when we come back. So look for other content on our YouTube channel, and we hope you guys have a wonderful day, okay?
Thank you guys.
Thanks.
Peace.
See you guys.